What is it about villainous characters that we love so much?
Bold words, child.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Final Fantasy villains. From the series' origins to its most recent installments, we're examining every villain presented to find the ones that intrigue, infuriate, and impress us the most.
Your conviction means nothing in battle.
Before we continue, we're establishing a rule of one villain per game. For instance, while Kain and Golbez from Final Fantasy IV are both impressive, we only have room for one of the game's antagonists.
I think I'll just pretend I didn't hear nothing.
Number 10, Zamis Zeromus, Final Fantasy IV. Speaking of which, we certainly know how to pick him. In the final moments of Final Fantasy IV, the Lunarian magic user Zemus taunts the reformed Golbez and fellow hero Fusoya into killing him, which seems to be the end of it. But Zemus is not done. His corpse mutates rapidly and resurrects as the monstrous Zeromus. Besides the prospect of a surprise boss battle, there's one more special element here. Zeromus arose from death purely on the strength of his hatred. Saying he has anger issues is an understatement.
Never die.
Number 9, Emperor of Palamecia, Final Fantasy II. Sometimes royalty is malevolent, and sometimes it wants the world to be consumed by demons. This emperor is the second kind, aiming for world domination by ways of a conjured demonic army. He's an interesting man, to say the least, remaining cordial with his foes to a point, while still viewing himself as above them. The Emperor's short-sighted sense of entitlement is matched only by his sheer contempt for humanity, which raises the question of why he would want anything to do with ruling them at all. Number 8, Wiegraf Folles, Final Fantasy Tactics. We believe the expression here is, take from the rich, give to yourself. Such a principle defines Folles, leader of the anarchistic Corpse Brigade. Folles leads an aggressive campaign to change the land of Ivalice, but with the caveat that the brigade never resort to methods of bandits. He cannot stand ransom or kidnapping. In that way, his eventual descent into vengeful action makes him an interesting sort of hypocrite, a man not so far above the people he leads, and one not as enlightened as the people he opposes. Number 7, Ultimecia, Final Fantasy VIII. The future is now. A truly gifted sorceress in a distant time to come, Ultimecia seeks to bend reality in just the right way to make herself a god. The extent of her manipulation can be felt everywhere. She possesses the innocent ambassador Edea to further her own agenda, convinces the aggressive Seymour to serve her exclusively, and ruthlessly takes control of the land of Galbadia. Say what you want about her arrogance and loose morals, she is quite the chess player. Number 6, Maester Seymour Guado, Final Fantasy X. Though the thought of Sin, the giant whale beast, does intrigue us, it is ultimately Seymour Guado who earns the spotlight.
To heal, Spira, I will become Sin.
Seymour is a maester in the land of Spira, a well-respected magic user with a pleasant attitude and seemingly courteous nature, even fighting with your party at one point in the game. Yet his demeanor disguises something grim, a nihilistic view of the world to the point of viewing death as a service to the living.
If all life were to end in Spira, all suffering would end.
Thus, Seymour's endgame being the world's destruction and the end of humanity feels like the logical extreme.
I will give you your death. You seem to want it so.
Number 5, Vayne Solidor, Final Fantasy XII.
I must apologize for my delay in welcoming you aboard my ship.
Vayne, you magnificent bastard. The son of the Emperor of Arcadia, Solidor is not one to stand around twiddling his thumbs.
Behold the power left me by our fallen friend.
He's renowned for his deviousness as a politician and his intelligence as a military leader, and will go as far as murder to attain the role of Dynast King.
She has been tried and found guilty.
From the sidelines, Solidor schemes and manipulates to fulfill his plans, though at his core, he still pledges loyalty to his family and to Arcadia. Look at that, he's almost admirable.
Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire.
Number 4, Garland, Final Fantasy. At once surprising and fascinating, Garland grabbed our attention. Starting as a fallen knight of Corneria who kidnaps the kingdom's princess Sarah, this dark warrior quickly fell at the hands of the Warriors of Light.
Only one can be the greatest.
However, when the warriors must travel back in time to confront the evil being Chaos, the truth becomes clear. Chaos is Garland, sent into the past and kept alive by creating a time loop. In doing so, Garland transitions from basic enemy to genuinely threatening presence in a heartbeat, even if his English is a bit spotty. Number 3. Kuja, Final Fantasy IX. Manufactured beings are sure dissatisfied with life. This seems to be the case for Kuja, a genome built to ignite war between fellow humans from behind the curtain. However, his plan actually runs deeper than that. He wants to be free of his creator and seeks to rule the dual worlds of Terra and Gaia. Kuja comes across as almost sympathetic, yearning for the freedom and purpose that we all seek. Even if he is a villain, he's flawed enough to be relatable on some level. Number 2. Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII. The one-winged angel leaves his mark. Sephiroth is quite the villain, a tragic man fueled by a lack of identity and rage from being used. He began as a hero, a soldier first class who was admired by many, including the young hero-to-be, Cloud Strife. That changed in Nibelheim, where he learned of his origins as a genetically modified being. Sephiroth's legacy is one of madness and devastation. Whenever the fallen hero shows up, the death count is almost guaranteed to increase and the world gets a little more grim. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Our one per game rule will not apply here.
Humans have no business here.
What? Your Eminence!
We have neither dreams nor honor.
Number 1. Kefka Palazzo, Final Fantasy VI.
Let's destroy everything!
There's a lot of reasons why Kefka stands out amongst the villains of Final Fantasy. He's certainly the most unrepentant, scheming behind Emperor Gastal's back and gleefully slaughtering countless people. His plan is simple, yet grandiose, consisting of destroying the world and attaining godlike power, both of which he manages to accomplish. He is the worst of humanity incarnate, arrogant, conceited, narcissistic, cruel, bloodthirsty, and sadistic to the point of madness.
Destroy more! Have got to destroy more!
For us, though, it all comes down to that laugh. That creepy one-note laugh. Do you agree with our list?
It's not bad, really, once you get used to it.
What's your favorite Final Fantasy villain? For more endearing top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Very well. As you wish.